In the Cold War spring of 1949, that section of Camp Hood, Texas, known as Killeen Base, was one of several Atomic Energy Commission and U.S. Air Force nuclear weapons storage and assembly facilities. Originally built in the late 1940s by the United States Air Force, this underground network of tunnel corridors was just west of Gray Air Force Base, later designated as Robert Gray Army Airfield. The area is now commonly referred to as West Fort Hood. As you can see in this video, the tunnel complex is significant for storage and assembly operations. These corridors, dug nearly 1,000 feet into the hillside, are each 20 feet wide with 30-foot ceilings. The concrete walls are 2 feet thick. Interspersed throughout the complex are rooms of various sizes that are still equipped with steel rails for overhead cranes. Small quantities of contaminated wastes were placed in lead-lined cylinders and stored in underground tubes. Regulators consider these low-level burial sites at West Fort Hood to be low risk, with no remediation required. Fort Hood does periodically monitor by taking shallow well water samples. Beginning on the 6th of March, 1949, official Air Force records show that the area was set upon by illuminated objects of different colors and shapes. Donald Kehoe and the Project Grudge predecessor to Blue Book investigated to find no simple explanation. On the 27th and 28th of April 1949, several Army security patrols sighted a variety of strange lights. These were reported as slow-moving and changing color from white to red to green. One had a red blinking light, and another was described as a cone-shaped affair, trailing in the rear, similar to one seen and reported the prior day. This configuration would later be reflected in the 1977 Steven Spielberg film Close Encounters, with young Barry calling out "ice cream" as the trailing UFO passed over him on the road. By May the 4th, 1949, the U.S. Army had established a UFO observation and triangulation network at Killeen Base. In his 1956 book, Ed Ruppelt referenced this early UFO network by incorrectly claiming that the Air Force had killed the Army plan to establish it. He repeated the word "killed" 4 times in the paragraph, which many analysts found odd. You can read this here on pages 57 to 58 of Ed Ruppelt's The Report on Unidentified Flying Objects. Pause the video if you wish. In reality, Ed Ruppelt actually had the Project Grudge UFO reports that were generated by the 4th Army's UFO Triangulation Network, which began operation on this 4th of May in 1949 and which the Air Force supported. Evidence for this is provided by this July 2, 1949 Summary of Information, which clearly states the observation and triangulation for events on 7 May 1949 as follows. When artillery observation and plotting methods were used, the following data was obtained by triangulation. On 7 May 1949, from 1940 hours to 2105 hours, weather was clear and a bright moonlight night. You can read the rest. Evidence for the claim of Air Force support is provided by the 23 June 1949 letter to AMC Project Grudge from Air Force Director of Intelligence General Charles B. Cabell's exec, entitled "By Command of the Chief of Staff." The letter specifically stated the following: that the 4th Army's 19 May request for AMC to send a technical observing team to Killeen Base was approved as a field exercise, and that there is no objection to AMC, and therefore Project Grudge, informing air bases in the Camp Hood, Texas area of the confidential training exercise, that is, the 4th Army's UFO network, being conducted at that installation.